Hello, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to the Edmonton Soccer Center East. We are here for tonight's matchup between the Alberta Junior Ooks wearing the blue and Mavin Junior Wolfpack wearing the red and yellows there. Starting it off, Heck taking the face-off away from Forrest, but Mavin Holmes gets it back in their own zone. Flip to the far side. Forrest picks that up. Wanted to drop that back for number 19, the help John. Ooks get it back in their own zone. Ooks drop that off behind their net. Sharkey coming up the near side. Comes across center. Up in the right wing into the offensive zone. Cuts into the slot. Puck comes off his stick. Followed up by Frostad. Right on to the goaltender William. And Wolfpack gonna move it out of their zone. Forrest handling the puck. Hands that off to Blair. That is intercepted. Heck's coming up the right side. Low shot. That is chopped just wide. Sharkey follows up. Puts that down low. That's going to be picked up by Davies. Davies contesting against Heck. Wheeling it out. Number 18, Berger. Low. And Sharkey makes the save for the Ooks. Jammed up the floor. Coming up the near side. Sharkey. Stopped just inside the blue line, but he's going to hang on to it. Ventures over the far side. Tried to drag that into the slot. It's going to be pumped back out to the neutral zone. Handled by Johnson. Over to Klopfer. Pass over to the near side. Picked up by Hoare. Hoare looking for a trailer. Battle for it, and it stays in the Mavin zone side. Junior Wolfpack picked that up. Send it up the floor. Coming up, number 19. That shot blocked by Klopfer. Ooks have it. Ooks gonna send that to the far side to Hoare. Hoare back to Klopfer on the near side. Klopfer coming in. Pass to the left side, picked up by Frostad. Frostad moving it down, tried to go back door, and that's going to skip just past the stick of Boylan. Junior Wolfpack starting behind their own net. Forrest with it. Forrest sends it to the far side. Not sure if that's Saber or not. Forrest comes in the right side. Moving it down low. Low shot onto Charty. He's going to make the stop and set that up for Richard. Richard drops that off for Frostad. Frostad goes in the near side looking for Richard. That's going to be cut off by Forrest. Boylan separates the puck from Forrest. Forrest chases it up in the Ooks end. Frostad with it. Throws it behind the net. Waiting for it on the far side is Richard. Richard stretches that out to Boylan. Here comes Boylan off the right side. Quickly in the zone. Backhand shot. Tried to put that down low. I believe that's Saber. That's going to move that out. Nope. Now Saber has it. All right. Saber fix Wandendane. Takes that into the corner on the far side. Ooks trying to chop that up the boards. Comes loose. Heck's going to move that up the floor. There's a low shot. Save by the Junior Wolfpack goaltender. Williams. That's right. Frostad tries to put that in front. That's knocked down. Frostad gets it back. Sends it back out high. Klopfer's going to pick that up. Move it up the near side. Track down on the near boards. He's going to wheel that back. Oh, it's just past Zahara. And a good back check by Klopfer breaks that up. Shooting was Drennan Blair. First on the breakaway there, and then a look off and a shot low, but Shirety was able to steer that aside. Now picked up on the far side by Heck. Puts it across the floor. Tipped back by Johnson over to Klopfer. Klopfer with it. Goes back into the Ooks zone. Trying to hit the angle on the far side. That's going to be knocked down by Michael Jean. And Mike Lejean is going to put that into the back of the net for the Mavin Junior Wolfpack. They're going to go up 1-0 with 13:12 to go in the first period. Junior Wolfpack come right into the Ooks zone after winning the draw. Puck goes loose below the goal line to the far side. Berger picks that up. Moves that out high to Blair. Blair up the left side. Walking it in. There's a shot. Charity with the save, taking that off of the shoulder. Rebound goes to the far side, but Forrest knocks it down for Wolfpack. Teams battling for it in that far corner. Now it comes loose. Frostad's going to pick that up for the Ooks. Lead pass. I think that was Boylan on the far side. Tried to throw that back in front by Sharkey. That was knocked down the slack. Sharkey's going to get the back. Couldn't walk it in. Hangs on to it. We'll get it back. Forrest coming in the left side. Hangs on. There's a shot. Comes off his stick. Off the end boards. Picked up on the far side by number 18, Berger. Berger throws that out high. Wolfpack resetting in their own zone. Forrest up the Berger. Tipped off his stick. Coming up the near side. Frostad's going to get past him. Couldn't get past the second defender. Wolfpack moves that up to center. Now it's stolen by Sharkey. Comes in the left side. Back right side. Sharkey with the shot. And that is ripped just wide. Comes off the end boards. Wolfpack get it back. Berger with it. Gonna hang on to it. Now moves it up the near side for Forrest. Forrest walking it in. Comes into the high slot. That's gonna be knocked away. Hoare steals it. Gets it up to Sharkey. Sharkey can't get the centering pass. Tracked down by the Wolfpack. Moving it back to the far side. Here comes the Wolfpack's number 19. Michael John, the goal scorer. And he puts it over the left side to Forrest. Forrest is gonna tap that just over the shoulder of the Ooks goaltender. And the Junior Wolfpack now up 2-0 with 11:16 to go in the first period. Carvalho picks it up behind the net. Passes it off to Forrest. Forrest goes in the corner, challenged by Hoare. Forrest trying to walk through. And Lane, the ref, shouting instructions not to hang on to the stick. That was a close one. Back in the Wolfpack zone. Number 4 with it. Stranagi. Moves that up the floor. Now it's a pass over to the near side. Forrest walking it down. Backhand, and that is past the Ooks goaltender. And it is 3-0 with 10:33 to go in the first half. $3-0 for the Wolfpack over the Ooks. Still here in the first half. Wolfpack win the draw. Taking it his own zone is Blair. Cycles behind the net. Coming away is Michael John. That's knocked off. Heck. Boylan couldn't get the backhand to go. Good save there by Williams. And whistle goes here with 10:07 to go in the first half. Still 3-0 for Junior Wolfpack. Love the draw on the near side in the Wolfpack zone. Heck wins the draw, sends it back to his own zone. Richard's back to start it off for the Ooks. Richard bumped off the puck behind the net by Uncle John. Low shot. Charity with the save. Still battling in way. It's underneath his pad. They're finally going to blow the whistle. Looks like he got 3 or 4 jabs at it there. And finally, referee Lane is going to blow it down with 9:51 to go in the first half. Junior Wolfpack in the draw. Michael John comes up the left side, hangs on, there's a shot that's blocked by Frostad. Michael John gets the puck back though, tries to move it back to the point, blocked against the far boards by Heck. Gets some help by Boylan. Ooks trying to move it around the near side. Frostad back behind the net to Richard. Richard. Heck, touch pass back to Richard. Richard sends that to the outside to Frostad. Frostad drops that back to Richard. Wheel it to the floor. Pass to the near side looking for Heck. It's going to come off the inboards. Backhand shot. And it had to be quick on that one. Was Williams. Wolfpack get it back in their own zone. Here they come out. Stop at center to reset. And Berger sends that over to Blair. Throwing up the far boards. Wolfpack coming out the near side. Berger into the zone. He's caught in the slot. Followed up by Michael John. He dances in. That's swept off his stick too. Boylan sends that down. Back for Frostad. Frostad setting up behind the net. Finding space on the near side. Doesn't want to stretch it. Sends it back to Richard. Richard gets that up to Heck. Heck over to Frostad. That's kicked off by number 18 Berger. Forrest to the right side to number 21. Back to Forrest. Forrest taking his time. No, great save there by Shardy. Forrest throws that back into the neutral zone. Picked up by Michael John. Passed over to Forrest. Forrest behind the net. Over to Cavallo. Back to Forrest. Sidesteps the check. Keeps coming through center. Coming out to the right side. Throws that in front. Shardy with the save. And the rebound chops over to the far boards. Picked up by Wolfpack. Wolfpack's number 24. Fix Van den Deen. Takes the shot and it comes out. Puck in the junior Wolfpack zone. They're setting up behind the net. Saber loses it to Hoare of the Ooks. Hoare takes that in the corner. Tries to throw that down low. Didn't have quite the squirt in it. Carvalho's going to pick it up. The Wolfpack. Here comes Michael John into the zone. Couldn't get it. Puck was chopped off his stick, but he gets it back. Rotates back and sends the puck to center, where Mavin and Junior Wolfpack starting behind their own net. Coming in the near side, Cavallo sends that back to Scranagi. Scranagi up to Carvalho. Past him. Picked up by Klupfer. Sends that back to Johnson. Johnson hands that off to Klupfer. Klupfer puts that back to Johnson. Johnson coming up the near side. He's stopped just outside the blue line by Forrest. Followed it up with Sharkey. Sharkey stripped of the puck. Forrest is going to rush that back into the Ooks zone. Taking it down low. Long shot. Charity with the save. Rebound picked up by Forrest. They couldn't get wrapped around. Ooks pick it up behind their own net. Moving it up is Hoare. Drops that back. Klupfer. Klupfer hanging on to it as the Ooks make a change. Puck's handed off to Frostad. Frostad hanging on to it. Sends that back to Richard. Richard stretches it down to Sharkey. Sharkey in. Left side. Oh, and it's just over. That shot by Damon Zahara. It goes off the shoulder of the goalie, but stays in play. Wolfpack pick it up in their own zone. Cavallo sets up behind his own net. Drops that back for Forrest. Forrest coming in. Comes up the near side. Coming into the Ooks zone. There's a shot wide of the net. Picked up on the far side by Scranagi. Forrest on the back check. Almost stole it back, but now it comes loose for Heck. Heck. Near side for Zahara. Back to Frostad. Left side for Richard. Richard trying to go in, and Zahara couldn't tap it home. Pops out into the slot, and it's cleared away by Forrest of Mavin. Wolfpack send it to the far side. That comes into the Ooks zone, picked up by Richard. Richard hard around the boards, looking for Heck. That bounces out into the open. Forrest almost got it. Coughed up to the Ooks. Zahara left side for Heck. Back to Zahara. Zahara loses that in the skates. Sends it down low for Heck. Heck sends it back. Look for Zahara. That's going to be cut off by Cavallo and flipped to the open side. Well, that's cut off by Heck. Heck with it in front, looking for Frostad. That hits the skate. It's going to be rushed up the ice by Forrest. Forrest coming up the right side. Low. That's knocked down by Klopfer. Klopfer trying to rush it out himself. Getting on the wheels. Goes to the left side. Back into the junior Wolfpack zone. He hangs on looking for a trailer. Over to the near side. Chipped down. Picked up by Michael John. Michael John coming in. There's a shot just over the shoulder of the Ooks goaltender into the back of the net. And it's 4-0 for Mavin Junior Wolfpack with 3:36 to go in the first half. Takes off at center. Ooks control the puck, send it to the far side. Boylan's going to pick that up, flips that back, looking for Hoare. Hoare immediately checked by number 18, Berger. Puck comes into the Wolfpack zone. Michael John has that, sends that near side. Now coming in is Berger. Comes loose. Wolfpack get it back. Taylor with it. Handed that off to Blair. Blair sets up in his own zone, sends that back to Taylor. Taylor over to Michael John, moves that up to number 21, Blair, and then tries to hit Taylor in stride, and Taylor lost possession of the puck. Klopfer moves that over the near side to Hoare. Hoare using the boards to get out of the zone. It's going to roll back to the Wolfpack side. Quickly picked up by Berger. Berger coming up the left side. Into the Ooks zone. Look, that's off the skate. Johnson kicked into the corner. Recycled back to the Wolfpack zone, where it's picked up by Blair. Blair taking the wide side. Now he drops it back to Michael John. John tried to get it through the skates of Hoare. Hoare takes it away, looking for the trailer. Here comes Boylan, and Boylan will finally put the Ooks on the board. And a nice shot there by Bennett Boylan. With the pass coming from Jacob Hoare. He steals it on the forecheck and throws that in the slot. Boylan does the rest. Goal comes, 2:02 left in the first half. Makes it 4-1 for the Junior Wolfpack. Puck's dropped. Wolfpack have it. Michael John coming up the left side. Trying to get around Frostad. Put out in front. Wolfpack have that. They put that back to the point. Blair with it. Blair comes out to center. Resets. Goes over to the far side to Berger. Berger hangs on to it. Up to Michael John. It's off his stick. Picked up by Sharkey. Sharkey coming in. Looking for Zahara. Hits a skate. Goes to the far corner. Zahara moves that back up the floor. Wolfpack have it. Taylor. Flips head to the far side. Pass comes back to Taylor. Taylor taking that down low. Frostad takes him into the corner. Winter teammates battling for it there. Taylor spins around. Frostad puts it back into the corner. Scrandy tried to come out in front. Now it's put out high. Calvalo is going to just move that over to fix Vandendane, who comes in the near side. Off the near boards. Battle for it. Sharkey gets it out to the neutral zone. But coming back to help is Scrandy. And he controls it for the Wolfpack. Sends it to the far side. Carvalho. Carvalho stretches that down near side for Blair. Sorry, not Blair. That was Fix Vandendane. Forrest puts that down low for Carvalho. Carvalho moving up the board, sends it down low for Forrest. 20 seconds to go in the half. Thrown out high. That is cleared away by Sharkey. Sharkey's going to pick it up. He's going to wheel it. Gets into the zone. Makes a nice inside move. Sharkey's still with it. There's a shot off the blocker. Comes off the end boards. Scrandy picks it up. Tried to lead that to Carvalho, but the buzzer's going to go here. And we'll end the first half with a 4-1 lead for Mavin Junior Wolfpack over the Alberta Junior Ooks. Take a quick pause here, but be right back here for the second half in just a minute. All right, folks, welcome back to Edmonton Soccer Center East. We're in this evening matchup between Mavin Junior Wolfpack and the Alberta Junior Ooks. Wolfpack up 4-1 on the Ooks as we get started on the second half. Ooks throw the puck off the draw. Johnson sends that wide to Klupfer. Klupfer's going to set that back down. That's going to be read by Berger. Berger hangs on to it. Takes that into center. Pass over to the near side to Blair. Blair hangs on to it. Sends it to the wide side now to Berger. Berger's going to come in. Comes in the slot. Can get the shot off. Keeps possession though. Sends that back to Blair. Blair looking for Michael John. That's going to skip past him. Johnson will pick it up for the Ooks. Hands that off to Klopfer. Klopfer over the far side for Heck. Heck up to Klopfer. Near side, looking for Heck, just out of his reach. Knocked down by Blair. Ooks get it back. Comes over. Oh, and Benny couldn't quite spin it into the zone. Wolfpack get it back. Pass wide side of the ice. So the 4 goes to Forrest. Forrest hands it back to Berger. Berger hanging on to it. Sends it back to Forrest. Forrest wheeling into the Ooks zone. Pass to the left side. John, there's a shot. Charity with the save. Wolfpack get it back in the neutral zone. Hands that off. Forrest hands that off to Berger. Berger to Forrest. Back in front. Cleared away by Klopfer. There's a high shot. Stays in play. Picked up on the far side, Michael John. Tried to throw forward by Heck, but that's intercepted by number 21, Blair. Low shot, and that goes into the glove of Charity. He's going to hang on to it. Pass over to Johnson. Johnson hands that off to Hoare. He wants to hang on to it. He's going to wheel it up the floor himself. Comes up the left side. Looking the right side for Frostad. Hands that back to Richard. Richard. Moves that all the way down to Frostad. Frostad sitting in front of the net. Picks it up behind the Wolfpack net. Looking for Hoare. Pass. Misconnected. Stolen back by the Wolfpack. Dumped into the Ooks zone. Richard's going to get that in the corner. Wheel that around the boards. Looking for Frostad. Picks it up. And then sends it back to Hoare. Hoare back to Frostad. Frostad sends that back to Hoare. Hoare's going to wheel that up the floor. Comes over the near side. There's a shot off the mask, Williams. Hoare picks up the rebound in the near side. Challenge by Calvallo. Puck comes loose for Fix Vandendane. And Fix Vandendane. Lead pass. Looking for Scranage. It's going to skip past him. Frostad's going to get that for the Ooks. Far side for Sharkey. Sharkey moving up the floor with it. Walks into the zone. Couldn't get the shot off. Stolen back by Fix Vandendane. Saber's going to come in the left side. Hanging on to it. Ooh, he is tripped up and sent into the end boards. Still battling for it. Now it comes loose for Frostad. Frostad moves that over to Richard. Richard. Stretch pass to Sharkey. Sharkey comes into the zone. Move to the outside, gets the inside position, could get the shot off, but he draws a penalty. And it looks like, let's see here, Carvalho will be heading into the box for the junior Wolfpack. And the Ooks will be on the power play with 14:09 to go in the second half. Draw will be on the near side in the junior Wolfpack zone. Ooks win it. Klopfer with it, hanging on. Far side for Heck. Heck hangs on to it. Back to Klopfer. Left side for Johnson. Drops that back to Klopfer. Walks it in. Wanted to move that down in the slot for Zahara. Puck bounced off the stick into the neutral zone. Johnson back for it. Gets it over to Heck. Heck. Coming into the zone slowly. Up the left side. Tried to go back door. That was knocked down in front by Berger. Back to the far boards. Picked up in the neutral zone by Klopfer. Goes to the left side to Johnson. Back to Klopfer. Here's Heck. Lining it up. Heck walking it in. There's a shot down below the goal. Looks like it just went off his right pad and in. And the Ooks score on the power play with 13:14 left in the second half. Bring this game within 2. Heavy shot by Heck on the power play. Makes it a 4-2 game with the junior Wolfpack still out in front of the Ooks. Wolfpack win the draw. They take it into their own zone. Blair with it. Near side for Berger. Back to Blair. Blair moving up the near side. Now he's going to hand that off to Forrest. Forrest getting speed, coming through. Zahar slowed him down, but Forrest gets it back. Sends that to the open side. Picked up by Berger. Low shot. Charity with the save. Klopfer trying to get the rebound. Now it comes back. Heck, go. Up in front. Forrest gets a shot. Forrest gets another one. That rises on him, though. Put out the far side. Wolfpack keep it. Michael John uses the boards. Puts that back out for... That was Berger. Berger over to Blair. Blair cycles over to the near side. Comes into the zone. Blair with it. Sends that all the way back to Forrest. Forrest walking it in. Slides that to the left side to Berger. Berger takes a low shot. Charity with the save. Klopfer around the boards to the far side. That's going to be picked up by Berger. Sent back into the neutral zone for Blair. Blair walks in. There's a low shot. And that just gets underneath the glove of the Ooks goaltender. And the junior Wolfpack regain their 3-goal lead with 11:58 to go in the second half. Face off. One by the Wolfpack. There's a shot by Taylor, and his rebound is slapped just wide. Pass back to the point, stolen by the Ooks Horror. Comes in, hanging on. Look at that Taylor. Richard coming in, left side, and Horror puts that just wide. Richard gets the rebound back for the Ooks. Hands that back to Boylan. Boylan over to Frostad. Frostad with it. Up to Richard. Nope, sorry, Frostad. Had me faked out, but he sends it back to Horror. Horror with it. Down low for Frostad. Frostad. Boylan coming into the slot. Frostad still with it. Over to Boylan. Boylan can't get the shot to go. And that is stretched down the floor by Taylor. Scranagi down low. Low shot. Charity with the save. And the Ooks will get away here. Here's Richard. He's going to wheel it up the near side. His entry thwarted, so Richard's going to send it back to Frostad, and the Ooks will reset. Frostad, far side for Hoare. Hoare. He's going to hang on to it. Drops that back for Boylan. Boylan, right side for Richard. Richard, down low for Frostad. Frostad hangs on. Back to Richard. There's a shot. Saved by Williams. Rebound picked up by the Ooks. Boylan. Back to the point to Frostad. Frostad. Over to Richard. Richard had to be quick on that one. Scranage was right on the spot. Boylan picks it up for the Ooks, though. Off the boards to Hoare. Hoare coming up the far side. Flips that over to Boylan. Boylan walking in. There's a low shot. Williams with the save. Put out in front. Frostad directs that on net. And we got a tripping call here. And it looks like Boylan will be in the box. 2 minutes for tripping. Called with 9:57 left in the second half. Face off far side in Luke's zone. Wolfpack win it. Over to the right side. Michael John sends that over to Blair. Berger over to Blair. Down low for Berger. That was Forrest. Berger back to Forrest. Has a bounce off his stick. Forrest picks it up at center. Just hanging on to it. Left side for Berger. Back to Forrest. He spins that to the near side to Blair. Blair walks that in. Comes up high with it. Left side for Berger. All the way over to Mavin. John walking it down. Comes into the slot. Low shot. Charity with the save. Forrest picks up the rebound on the near side. Left side for Blair. Back to Forrest. Forrest is going to rip one. And that is just over the glove of Charity. And into the back of the net. Power play goal for the Wolfpack. Comes with 8:52 left in the second half. It'll make it a 6-2 game. Puck in the Ooks zone. Johnson puts that over to Heck. Heck tries to throw that off the end boards. That was read by Blair, but it comes out high for Zahara. Puck put down the near side. Johnson hands that off to Zahara. Zahara couldn't quite catch up to it. Here comes the Wolfpack. Low shot. Puffer check coming in the near side. That's removed from him. Back to John. Right side for Forrest. Forrest tries to go low. Charity with the save. Comes out high. Johnson able to chip it, but Wolfpack are going to get it back. That was Blair over to Berger. Over to Michael John. Michael John walking it in. Backhand shot off the mask of Charity. Rebound goes to the far side. Centering pass, that's broken up by the Ooks. Heck moves it out to neutral zone, goes to the far side. Heck trying to spin it into the zone, shadowed by Forrest. Hands that off to Zahara. Near side for Frostad. Frostad sends that back. And it will be Sharkey picking it up. He stretched down the floor quickly. Puts that in front. That's taken away by Frostad. Frostad up to Richard. Tried to back that into Hoare. Right in front of the net. Was fixed defended wing. Here comes the Wolfpack back the other way. Trying to get a high shot. Charity makes the save. Ooks take that into the Wolfpack zone. Sharkey with it. Off the boards to Frostad. Rocking it in. Here's Hoare. There's a shot blocker saved by Williams. That's going to end up out of play. And we'll get a stop here with 5:44 left in the second half. Directed towards the net, goes wide. Picked up by Taylor. Taylor versus behind his own net. Oh, a delayed penalty being called here. Referee Lane with his arm up, waiting for the Ooks to touch it. Right now, Wolfpack are in possession. Scranage sends that back to Forrest. Forrest taking it out the far side. Comes into the zone. Off in boards, and as Frostad touches it, the whistle goes. And a cross-checking penalty will be issued to Sharky of the Ooks. So, penalty to McLaren Sharky, cross-checking called with 5:10 left in the second half. Puts the Wolfpack on the power play, already with a 6-2 lead. Wolfpack win the draw. Blair with it. Hands that off to Michael John. Moves that to Berger. Far side, that's going to skip over to Klopfer. Well, Klopfer dumped in the corner. Blair's getting up the box of this one, taking a tripping penalty. And we will play 3-on-3, shorthanded for each team with 4:45 to go in the second half. 1:35 of 3-on-3 play here. Face off far side in the Wolfpack zone. Ooks win the draw. Johnson with it. Far side for Klopfer. Tried to slide that all the way down looking for Boylan. It's going to come off the corner and be picked up by Berger. Berger hanging on to it. Slips out the far boards. Coming with speed into the Ooks zone. Hanging on to it. Sends that all the way back to Taylor sitting at center. Jackson Taylor hands that off to Berger. Goes over to the near side. Sends that back to Taylor. Taylor tried to move that up the floor. That was stolen by Boylan. Boylan moves that back to Johnson. Johnson over to Boylan. Boylan hanging on to it. Gets that to Klopfer. Klopfer walking it down. There's a shot. Comes off the end. Off the top of the net. Klopfer backhands that into the near corner looking for Johnson. He's beat to the puck by Berger. Berger will move that up the boards. Johnson tried to track him down. Michael John gets it back for Wolfpack. Michael John going out the far side. Ooks get their attacker back on. Michael John puts that in short-handed. And it will be another goal for the Wolfpack. This one short-handed with 3:03 to go in the second half. The score is 7-2 for the Wolfpack. Just over 3 minutes to go in the game. Wolfpack still short-handed. Win the draw and they take it behind their own net. Send it to the far side. Carvalho. Picked up by Fix Glendending. Comes through center. Pass over to the near side for Forrest. Forrest comes in. Low shot. Charity with the save. Heck with it. Moves that over to Richard. Richard. Over to Frostad. Frostad. Far side for Heck. Heck coming in the zone. Resets. Hands that off to Frostad. In front, Richard with the shot. Follows it up and puts it in with a diving shot. And Owen Richard scores with 2:07 to go in the second half. Moves the game to within 4. 7-3 as we're just over 2 minutes left in the second half here. Carvalho has the puck for the junior Wolfpack. Hands that off to Vandendane, who gives that over to Scranagu. Scranagu. Ooks get it back in their own zone. Here's Richard with it. Moves that over to Frostad. Frostad coming in. Fights through 3 checks, moves it over, and Zahara will tap that in. And the Ooks score with 1.5 minutes to go in the second half, brings the game within 3. Currently 7-4 in favor of the Wolfpack. 1.5 minutes to go in the game. Puck's drop. Wolfpack win it in his own zone. Blair sends that to the near side to Berger. Berger back to Blair. That's all the way down the floor to Forrest. Forrest looking for a trailer. Just gonna hang on here. Hands that off to Berger. Berger walks that in. Stick check by Zahara. Forrest dumps that into the near side. Picks it up in the corner for the Wolfpack. Flips that out high. Waiting for it was Berger. Heck got a stick on it. Sends it to the far boards. Heck comes away with the puck. 45 seconds to go in the game. Richard can wheel it behind. Far side. Walk it in. It's Frostad. Frostad. There's a shot right into the gut of Williams. Williams will hang on. 30 seconds to go in the game. Moved up the floor by Blair. Comes in the slot, backhand shot. Charity with the save. Buckford picks up the loose puck. Far side for Richard. Sorry, that was Johnson. Moves that up to Zahara. Zahara got the knee taken out on him. Low shot. Right on goal, and that will do it. Penalty will be called, but it won't matter. This one goes in favor of the Wolfpack, 7-4 here on this Monday night game from the Edmonton Soccer Center East. Well, folks, thanks for tuning in. My name's Curtis Bekowski. We will be back on the air, but I think we're on Wednesday night. Let's just double check here. Ooh. Alberta Junior Ooks practice. Oh, it's a practice Wednesday. Okay. Well, that seems like it's it for the weekend. All right. Well, I guess I get a break for about a week here. We'll see you at the next game. Hope you have a good night, folks. Take care.